But yeah, thank you guys for that. Reason why I was out last week, I knew we had a guest coming up and stuff, and I just didn't really want to take away from that, and I just wanted some time to process kind of what I was going through. Got the unfortunate news that my grandpa on my dad's side, my grandpa Pete, died unexpectedly. He was sick. We don't know if it was COVID, but he ended up dying, just not waking up one day. So it's been my third grandparent to die this past year in 2020. And so it was just really hard for me. Because one, I've been so busy that I'm still processing the grief of the first two. And two, like seeing my dad lose both of his parents in the same year, like that's really hard. Especially now that I'm in this new phase and, my relationship with my dad is already changing. So it's been pretty hard from that aspect. And then also, like, every time I start to feel like, better about my situation, like something else happens. But, it's fine. It's going to be okay. I just had to sit with that sadness for a little bit. But I feel his energy inside me. Just in terms of like the same way, like, I used to always tell the story, but people used to always ask me like why I put the D in my byline. They're like, Pete Camarillo is not a common name. And if there are other Pete Camarillos, they're probably not in journalism. So you really don't need that differentiator. But to me, it was always a homage to where my name comes from, which is my dad, who got his name from his dad, who got his name from his dad. And we are not juniors or the fourth because we all have different middle names. So that's why I rock my middle initial. But yeah, man, legends say, my grandpa Pete was a hell of a boxer, hell of a fighter. Of course, like everyone else, he didn't get to where he needed to. But just that confidence is something that I've always kind of embodied, and also, coming from a lineage of mechanics and grease monkeys, I myself, never had to turn the wrench because I always had them. But I still kind of got that hustler's mentality, that problem solving mentality that, really comes with being a grease monkey. And so, I thank them for that, because without that, I would be a totally different person. So it's always important to know where you come from and the people that you came from, because with that, it shows you how far you can go. Like, really shows you how far you can go. But yeah, man, with that, again, shout out to the Good News Sports. Shout out to the Good News Radio. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Shout out to FBC Radio, X Squad affiliates, your favorite podcast app. You can find us touchdownswithtangents.com. Thank you to the WST podcast for calling in. And yeah, if you need anything from us throughout the week, you can always go to TDs_tangents. I'm sure Izzy and Kenny will get some heat going for you this week. I always try to put some polls up on the story during the week too, so don't sleep on those either. We're out.
And
Peace.
Yeah, the sequel after drop. Salute, y'all.